back to my channel. To those who are new, thank you for joining today. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you for coming back. Today, I'm going to be doing a video on 3 different Cricut projects that you can do to support individuals with cognitive impairment. These projects are number 1, creating a dry erase calendar board, number 2, creating a memory book, and number 3, creating labels for containers. Before we jump into the projects, we're going to talk a little bit about cognitive impairment, what it is, how it presents, and why it is important to understand. Before understanding cognitive impairment, it's important to understand what cognition is. So cognition is the processes in our brain, such as reasoning, judgment, learning, memory, and information processing that allows us to complete different activities throughout the day. When there is an illness or injury, there can be an impact into an individual's cognition and how they're able to carry out tasks. This can come about from developmental disorders such as fetal alcohol syndrome, autism spectrum disorder, and global developmental delay. And it can also occur due to neurological diagnoses such as from a stroke or a traumatic brain injury. When these injuries or illnesses happen, there's an impact into the way an individual is able to perceive and understand the world around them. This means that individuals can have trouble with dressing, such as how to put their clothes on in the correct order. It can mean that individuals have challenges remembering different appointments they have throughout the day, and even how they structure the day. And so from an occupational therapy perspective, it is super important to be able to complete activities and tasks that are meaningful to individuals and to help them engage in the activities throughout the day that are important to them. So the 3 projects that I've chosen to do today are aimed at addressing different components that individuals with cognitive impairment may struggle with. So when we're looking at the calendar dry erase board, that can be a really important tool for helping individuals remember appointments, remember to take their medication, and helping them to create just a schedule that they can implement throughout their day. The next project is creating a memory book. This project can be beneficial for helping individuals specifically with dementia, Alzheimer's, or memory challenges to connect with who they were and the past events and people that have been important to them. Memory and visual cues have such an important integration, especially when it comes to helping individuals who have lost that to reconnect with those components. The third project is going to be creating labels for boxes. This can be super important for helping support individuals who struggle with organization and who struggle with connecting what an item is to what the name of the item is. And so the box labels provide a unique tool and a simple tool for just creating a little bit more organization. The first project is the dry erase calendar board. So with this project, I used vinyl, my Cricut maker, the Cricut software, as well as a reused dry erase board that I took from my brother's desk revamp. So make sure to also check that video out. So with the dry erase board, it was actually part of his desk, and I was planning on just throwing it out, but then when I was thinking about projects for this, I was like, oh, I could use that. I started with cutting the strips on the Cricut maker. I cut it down to 0.7 inches. I put all the pieces on the dry erase board, and this part was such a headache. Oh my goodness. Especially the letters Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, Sunday. Other than that, I'm super happy with how it turned out. The other thing is that if you don't want to do it on a month-to-month basis, you could do it on a week-to-week basis. which would be awesome. So just depending on the individual, it might be beneficial to see month to month or week to week. So that can be adjusted with the way that the board has been laid out. The next project I did was the memory book. This project was actually the easiest out of all of the three. For the memory book, we're actually going to be using heat transfer vinyl. When using the heat transfer vinyl, there are two sides. There is a shiny side and then there is a dull side. When we use the heat transfer vinyl, we're going to want to put the shiny side down and the dull side up. I kept the iron onto the cutout for 30 seconds for the memory section and then 30 seconds for the book section. And then once those 30 seconds were up, I just touched some of the corners up a little bit. Once that was done, I was able to pull away the leftover plastic and it turned out great, I would have to say. I think one of the biggest kind of learning pieces for this project, just making sure that the stencil is secure and that it doesn't move. So I am back today to work on the final project. After having so much difficulty with the dry erase calendar project with the vinyl, I decided to do a little bit more research and realized that I missed a crucial step when using vinyl paper, and that is using transfer tape or transfer paper. What it is essentially once you cut out a print, putting it onto a separate piece of paper so that all the print and images stays together. Once you have it on the transfer paper, you then put it onto your object, use a squeegee to kind of press it down, and then it's done. Alright, so Cricut is done cutting. Take this off. Now I'm going to get the transfer paper and I need to cut out these things. Alright, so now that we have these cut out, we come to the transfer paper and we want about similar size. Okay. And then this is where it gets like real pressured. So we take this off and then, to be helpful, the technique is to make it into a rainbow. And when you put it on, to start from the middle and then let it go straight this way. There we go! So, same thing when putting the vinyl onto the transfer paper. You want to fold it in half, start in the middle, and work your way outwards. Okay, look at it, make sure you're happy. We're going to use our Cricut squeegee again. Make sure everything is on nicely. The moment of real truth. Let's see. Look at that! Ah! Oh my goodness. Ah! That looks awesome. Look at that. Okay. I am super happy with that. That looks amazing. 100,000 times easier than what I was doing with my dry erase calendar. But, I mean, the whole point of DIYing is learning. And, I mean, yeah, learning. Because we all gotta learn and we all have to start somewhere. Okay. Thank you for watching the video today. I hope you learned something or just feel inspired to create or enable someone around you. That is awesome. If you have any ideas or activities or other suggestions, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you all. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that.